Hi crafty friends, it's Donna here, and I've got a set of 4 cards today that are nice and sunshiny using the sunflower border metal die from Paper Rose Studio. I'm going to make some backgrounds for these cards, but I'm also going to show you a bunch of papers that you can use for a similar effect without getting inky. Here's that die. It cuts out half a sunflower, but also it has these little lines that stretch to the edge of the card, and we'll have a look at what those little lines do in a while. This is absolutely not an inky background how-to video. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the right supplies, but it's a lot of fun. I've made these inky backgrounds using Copic re-inkers. I bought a lot of re-inkers when I was in Japan, and I'll never get through them all as re-inkers, so I use them for inky techniques. I am using a plastic type paper, a Yupo paper, for this technique, otherwise the ink will just soak straight in. And I made a half panel, and then I made a sort of doubled mirror panel with a larger sheet of the paper so that I could get 2 more backgrounds out of it. As you can see, not all of the ink stayed on the paper. Let's cut one of these sunflowers out and have a look at it. So as well as cutting the half sunflower, those lines that stretch to the edge of the card leave behind the bottom area, and so you can use that for your sentiment. Make it as big or as small as you want. In my case, I want my inky backgrounds to show, so I've made a fairly narrow strip, and I'm going to stamp my sentiments directly onto that strip. I'm using these thanks sentiments, which are part of a new release from Paper Rose Studio, and this stamp has one gorgeous feature image as well as thanks or thank you in a bunch of different fonts and some secondary sentiments that you can use with it. I'm using just the thanks and thank yous today. I'm gluing down my panel. I don't worry too much if it's too small. And then gluing down the sunflower and leaving it under a little bit of weight until it's dry. Making your own inky background isn't for everybody. You need the supplies, you need a high tolerance for getting inky, and a fairly high tolerance for chaos. If getting inky isn't for you, why not try a pre-printed paper? Here's a few I found. The Rainbow Twirl pack has a bunch. I chose this one out because it's got those nice sort of sunflower colours. There are also some great choices in Inky Colour or Inky Antics, or you can choose a paper that's not quite so inky, such as this Floral Bliss, or a paper from this Rainbow Garden Patterns. I really liked this paper with the craft sunflower on top, and I might have to go back and make that card, I think. This first card here uses the Inky Colour paper that I showed you earlier. The rest are all my own backgrounds. I'll leave you with some pictures of the finished cards, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye for now.